Every football program dreams about building a dynasty. Most never even come close. But 8 seasons ago, Coach Tyrone Roseboom stepped into little old Kent, Ohio, a school that is nothing like Alabama or Georgia. In fact, they just averaged around 9,000 in attendance for their games. But taking on this challenge, Coach Ty took one of the lowest rated programs in the country, a team nobody had any expectations of, and he gave them an ending no one expected either. But going back 8 years, frankly, it is crazy the difference in where we started versus where we finished. At the beginning, we were not worried about championships, about winning titles, making big playoff appearances. Honestly, we were just trying to build a foundation for what we hoped the future could hold. The original roster, frankly, wasn't built to compete. We did not have future NFL talent anywhere out on the field, nor did we have any sort of award candidates, let alone Heisman candidates. But what we did have was a group of players who were looking to change the course of Kent State. And we found a leader early on in linebacker Syed Abu Hamday, who was with us for quite some time, helping lead the change here at Kent State. And with little original expectations and some leaders cropping up, the first year would go about as good as it possibly could. Every Saturday, we felt like this team was making progress, not because they were dominating teams, but because the schemes were starting to flow, and we started to find out what this team was truly capable of. Then college football gave us one of those stories that you just couldn't script.
Crowd pumped up here with a 3rd and 9. Rayner sets up the slants. Nana Burris with the grab, picking up the block, setting him right down center field at the 10-5 touchdown. This time, they need just 5 as the pressure is brought, but right down the seam, Fortenberry to the end zone. They're going to need him to get him back into this one. Look to go back to some more quick pass, but again, nothing quite opens up to Shields with the legs, scrambling in, sliding down inside the 40. Looks like the approach for them has switched to be a little bit more of some quick hitting passes rather than some more longer developing plays. Over the top of the blitz, Barry looks to get this one outside. Good flow over the top by McGee. Changing up the look here, Hopperton goes over to the left-hand side. They go with a little bit of some play action. And a little bit behind, Hopperton finds it. You got 3rd and 5. 2 spread either side here for DeShields. Tries that hard count. No one jumps on it. He steps up with the pressure building around the edge and finds that end zone right back down the middle. Call it a quarterback draw if you want. Kent State finally gets on the board here in Mobile, Alabama, and he's doing the worm. With their spread look, and then go ahead and hit you with a pass downfield. Boma beat Rucker, slips, and back up 2 scores with a 3rd and 10. As they do look to go to the air, it's out to Martin. They find him this time, utilizing that speed. He's out at the 43. And that's a 3rd and 1 awaiting here. DeShields back in pistol. Newbin behind. He's got some good blocking. Right-hand side. But Coach Ty will call his first timeout. Team still has 2 more and 27 seconds to try to find that end zone. A little bit of some play action. Throwing late outside will be Harris, turning up the sideline, tiptoeing to get a first down. Now 15 seconds to try to find that end zone. Firing quick over the middle, you've got Barry down to the 11 with 10 seconds to go and timeout 2 called. Now 6 seconds. Throwing again back outside, and Barry holds on through the late hit. Trying to get this within 7 points. He's got the accuracy, and he drops it in. Field goal good for Kent State, despite it landing back inbounds. Play here, stopped in the backfield. They've struggled with. Run here, Clay, picked up and slammed down by Rich. Another third down here. And open downfield, Corey Rucker plucks it out of the air. A risky play there. You had your look. The receiver just didn't get the catch. Block comes in here clean. The spin gets by Rollison. Has just been overpowering here for the Kent State Golden Flashes as Clay breaks another tackle, sprinting away with that lead. Trying to make it 45-17, and it's blocked. Scooped up, it's Williams. Special teams decides, hey, maybe we try to have one more big play in this game. But absolutely steamrolled out there. Arkansas State would tack on one more touchdown, 49-17.
I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better opportunity. Coach Ty facing his former team, the team that gave him a start in coaching. Unfortunately, it just didn't end the way we wanted. But it's that sense of disappointment that really was the building blocks for the future, because this season told us we actually had a future. We'd finished the year 7-6, and that would arguably be one of the best seasons Kent State really has ever had outside of 2012. And while Kent State didn't end year one as a champion of any kind, what it did do was build some hope in little old Kent. And we took that momentum into the offseason. The year two build was a risky one for us. We took some shots on some big-time transfers for us, and we welcomed in a large amount of new players with max exodus, a lot of work done in the transfer portal, and a shift from being a lovable underdog to expectations growing almost overnight. And in fact, this is where we saw the debut of a couple players that would go on to become legends of the Golden Flashes. We brought in the likes of Mason Kelsey at quarterback and a massive transfer receiver in Tank Hawkins. Those two players, well, they went on to really change the early stages here of the Kent State rebuild, and they had a breakout game.
The biggest game of our season is here as we host the Pitt Panthers, the number 3 team in the nation, the number 1 team in the ACC, all while trying to keep our 5-game win streak alive. 4, Kent State is standing inside your own 10. Force a field goal attempt, keep you close, but eventually working his way open. Victor Snow, as Hawkins goes in motion. They do flip it out his way, couple blockers in front. Gets by the first 2 and speeds to the opposite side of the field. 2nd and 14, they keep with that 2 spread. And they've got Carrion with space. He's by the 20 before he is tracked down for Alano. Left hash, but down the middle for Holstein, just constantly sitting underneath and finding a bunch of space. But finding space for the sack is Grayson Howard. Off the snap, he goes untouched. All too often, flipping this one out, that's Tank Hawkins in space. We know about his speed. He gets down to the 41. Plenty of coverage across the board. So instead, Kelsey will look to step up with the open spaces. He slides down at the 16. Again, down just behind the line. Quarterback power, and Kelsey takes it right down the gut. Kent State is in front of Pittsburgh. As they look to send this one downfield, it's an interception for Howard. He's looking for a MAC Defensive Player of the Week award for 3 straight weeks. Not trying to blow a huge opportunity here. As the pressure builds, he just uncorks it downfield for Tank Hawkins. Touchdown! Trying to squeeze it into a tight window. It's picked off. Forced downfield for Carrion. Do have to love the tackle attempt there, though, from Hawkins, as they actually look to hand this one off. Goff with space by the diving play, though that ball is free. Harris puts his shoulder right on it. Gill headed down the sideline. We've got a scoop and score. Play one. Rolling outside, throwing high. It's popped up, and it's going to be picked off. Kelsey has to react, getting the touchdown saving tackle. 24-7, they keep the offense on the field. It is 4th and 4. The defense cannot give up anything here. As the pressure builds, it is out, and they've got the touchdown. We're back to a 10-point ball game. Or at least you would have thought. As they go back to that triple option, it's to Harris with space outside. He gets the juke on the safety. Here's a big run for Harris. He's good for a few a game. He gets his first here against the Panther defense. Kelsey gets them snapped. Throw is underneath. That's got carrying again as he almost breaks it to the outside. He does fight through a pair of tackles. And throwing, it is to Hassman. First down. For the final play of the third, goal line surfing in is Kelsey. As they bring the blitz, and it will hit home. Fall, the transfer DT with the sack. Let's try to look up again that orbit screen, but it is another sack, and this time it's a new man out there. Haven't called his name this year. It is Roy. Quick break here to get the offense and defense reset, but it's a touchdown for Pitt. It was a desperate drive. A 3rd and 5 they could really use with this stop. But they forgot about carrying outside. The RPO has worked time and time again today for Kent State. And with it, they will deserve this right here. Kelsey kneels down the upset. Kent State dominates the Pittsburgh Panthers at home and puts their name in the bid to be top 25. But down goes number 3. What a showing for the Flashes. An absolutely perfectly executed game plan.
And that game really was proving ground, not only for us, we knew we could play, but for the nation watching Kent State, who arguably didn't think much about us, beating a ranked Pittsburgh team, that was a catalyst to the rest of our season. And the boys after that Pitt game would carry the momentum through the rest of the regular season. And that would include a narrow win over Buffalo in the regular season finale. But then we'd see something that would become a trend throughout this dynasty, and that is hitting the same test almost back to back.
Over 50 years since the last time Kent State has claimed MAC championship glory, we look to upset the reigning champions in the Buffalo Bulls. We got a chance to make up for it here today as it starts with that triple option. It's out to Harris left side. He's got a sideline to head to at the 50 and finally met out of bounds at the 49. Kelsey in the pistol gets that hard count, though no penalty thrown. Across the middle, that's going to be Tank Hawkins. He'll work his way down inside the 30, marked down 24. As they do look to set up a screen to the outside, a couple blockers out in front. Harris, spin move. Harris breaks the tackle, and Harris scores. Harris with a trifecta on the catch and run. Picks up 2. He had a couple good runs in that previous game, just was not able to get going as the pass rush gets going here early. Brenton Bush, the 42. Hawkins in motion. They bite down. They're going to get him outside. Trying to pick up that block with Carrion. Let the speed go to work, and Tank Hawkins is gone again. Harris in the backfield and play action his way. Throwing out right side. Hassman runs underneath it. Rolling out that way, and they've got their fullback wide open. It is Bailey. Bulls ball as they go Garcia down the middle. He finds space. He breaks left side. He's got open field, and Gavin Garcia finally gets a touchdown on his former team. Make this an 11-point game. And they've got it dead center. Kelsey, though, with a lot of pre-snap adjustments. He's got Tank Hawkins on a quick release. And no one's going to catch this man. They'll give it up to 22. He almost caught up. Right hash here. before half, and that one stays in the upright. Facing the quick pressure, and it is gonna be Syed Abu Hamdi. Just stepping up, get some pressure there, and that's a pick. What a play, Cordoba. As they do go RPO, that one's picked off. Talk about keeping things clean. Davis says, no, you don't. It's Bulls touchdown. Olano out here, right hash, and he just shoved that one well left side. Someone's getting a souvenir. Approaching 10 seconds, they do snap it with a 3rd and 1. And it looked like Howard had him, but he hesitated. This will be to Garcia, who again looked like a defender was coming down. Rolling, throwing to Hopperton. It's picked off. It was a jump ball, bad angle. Here comes Gaines to get the tackle. Blake bailing back, throwing downfield. It's caught. Viviano slipping the tackle, and it is Buffalo into the end zone. Arian, short motion over on the right-hand side. A little pump fake action. Throwing this time outside. Carrion with a little sideline space. He's out at the 25. Triple option, flipping this one out. It's to Hawkins. He's got a block downfield. Inside the 10 goes 10. Once again, Harris keeps. He cuts inside. He's got the lane to the end zone. As there's plenty of time here for Taylor to throw, and he's got his man. Tellender looked to be right place, right time. Buffalo with 2 more remaining. They need a play, but wide open across the middle. They are driving here as they send a 6-man rush, and Rollison looked like, again, defense is in the right spot. Harris barking out a few calls as he lets this one rip. Tank Hawkins separates, and we've got a tie ball game. Each team has a couple timeouts as there is some pressure, and Brown catches it. He's going again. Gill speeds over, and he will not deny Brown. 16 seconds. They start with an empty set. And throwing into a soft window, finding his man, and a timeout is called. 11 seconds to go here. You got to find something. Another soft spot, but it's overthrown. And that will be your ball game. Buffalo makes it back-to-back MAC championship seasons. A really good throw there late as well coming from Kelsey. Found Rodgers. The next throw just a bit too high for Carrion on what almost was the same type of play.
And ultimately, 2 big opportunities would arise, but 2 disappointments would also hit.
Today, Penn State looks to wrap up their season, winning their 2nd ever bowl game. And facing the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, they head into the Game Above Sports Bowl. There will be a spread look to get them started. Pass out to the flat, has the running back on the wheel. That is Bryant with a big gain. Gill pushes him out at the 39. For the freshman quarterback in Oakley, it's a great start. They go back to Bryant. He's got some more space. 1 player downfield, slowing him down in time for Gill and Howard to catch up. As there's an open target, they just were not able to close that game out. Taylor with space outside as he goes on the drag. About a gain of 22 before he's finally taken down. And with a long down and distance, they go RPO. Good block downfield, Tank Hawkins. He picks up 2. Ivan Carrion to the end zone. Rolling, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's picked off. Sending out Carlson, and that's going to help out. Needing to answer here, and Kelsey will take it as he weaves back towards the middle. Safety comes over. They look to set up a pass here. Kelsey will just take it right down center field, weaving to the left. As they do go RPO, it's out to Hassman. They scored on this play earlier, and he is inside the pylon. But a long field in front of us. The throw across the middle, that's going to be Rodgers. First down. Conservative when it comes to using those timeouts. The throw outside, that's Hassman. A rolling, This time he's got Hawkins with plenty of space, but it sends out Alano. And that will be at least a touchdown lead. Nearly had the movement. Soft window is just overthrown for Rodgers. It's a second interception on the day. 3rd and 2 for Wake Forest. As they go RPO, it's open backside. Stockstill will catch up, but down at the 7. As they go with a handoff, Gill with the bad angle. It's higher level competition. Right now they've got open space. Gill having to flip those hips to take a better angle. Next to fall with an empty set, and they attack the DT spot. 3rd and 3. Wake Forest goes to the air. Open is Parker. Gill has to bring him down. And pressure builds. Scrambling Oki. Given the touchdown. Now Hassman goes in motion, and they swing it out his way as well. Able to get by 6. As Kelsey again steps up in that pocket, he had a receiver to throw to, but instead he scrambles this one down to the 6. 4 minutes. They set up the screen. Blockers in front. Harris will go untouched. They will start with a pass. And flooding the middle is going to be Meredith. Facing the blitz. Olkey taken down by Thompson. And they'll let this one rip downfield for Tank Hawkins, but it's picked off. That will be the ball game as they will tack on a touchdown. A pick 6 comes in. It's something for the road, but the road was not to where we were wanting it to go. At the end of a great regular season, we walk away completely empty-handed. We lose the MAC championship game. We lose the bowl game. And perhaps we're about to lose a whole lot of players as well.
But the big difference between season 1's and season 2 was that these 2 losses hit harder than any losses we had before, because not only there was hope, right? We had outgrown that survival instinct we had in season 1, now expecting to come out there and beat teams. We just had to show that we can do it significantly, not only to ourselves, but to everyone else. And there was no better way to show that than our season 3 opener.
For the 2nd year in a row, Ohio State kicks off their season facing in-state opponent Penn State, but coming off a national championship dub. This is going to be a tough game for Coach Ty and Kent State, debuting a whole lot of new players. As they will continue looking to go to the air here. Looking downfield, and this is going to be a touchdown. Pass here, they got a tight end open, but it is a sack coming in from Von Ingold. Carrying in motion as they go back to that RPO. Hawkins with the block, and the big fellows rumbling, all 6'6", 230 pounds. As he do go play action here, and under pressure, it's Brenton Bush. 3rd and 9, and a chance to get off the field here with a quick stop. Instead, airing it out deep. Rollison somehow misses the ball. As time running down here, they do snap that ball one last time here in the first quarter and let it rip downfield. Tank Hawkins with the step, and once again, a tie ball game. They're going to say about an inch could be gained, but with the swing out, you're not going to even need to bother with that. 3rd and 9. And that ball gets popped up into the air and falls right into the hands of a waiting defensive lineman. Fake Roy bit hard, and once again, that is Porter slipping the tackle of Gill, who takes Reddish out of the play. And he'll just let this one rip again for Tank Hawkins, who's underneath it, the speed again to save the day as he is by Calhoun. Triple option here, it's back to Kelsey, who flips it out late. Now Smith, he's got the sideline, 20, 10, and defender pushes him out at the 8. Dupree again goes in motion, and they'll try it out his way again, this time with space, and a 3rd down here. Throws for the touchdown. And Kelsey's going to leak out to the left-hand side. He's got space to trot in to either side. And Sane with a spin opens up, and he's got the touchdown. He tried that hard count. Does not work. Quick pressure. And that ball is airmailed. And Julian Sain will kneel this one out. Kent State went toe for toe with the reigning national champions. But Ohio State just gets by the upset.
We may have not won that game, and we might have come in with a little bit of an extra chip on our shoulder, but we had a whole season to prove that what we did in that game was no fluke. And in fact, we had a chance to prove that we deserved the recognition we were starting to get. And with key figures in place on both sides of the ball, we would indeed carry that momentum all the way through. And that did include a little bit of some sweet revenge on the Bulls. But the biggest mark was once again making that MAC title game.
Refs do end up marking that one about a gain of 19. And it will be hurry up here for Toledo with a quick throw outside and slipping the tackle. There goes Lang. Reddish can't recover. They go back to that triple option. It is out Smith. We get that foot in the ground. Good block there, Tank Hawkins. Spin move. Smith. Now he's got to get on his high horse. 20, 10, 5. Penn State ties the game. But we know that we can force some fumbles if we get the hit. Back foot throw, and no problem. Does force a field goal right down the middle. Triple option pitch again here, Smith. He gets outside. Good block, Tank Hawkins. By the 30, by the 20. He tried to slip back inside that safety. Blitz is brought. Thrown outside. Hassman with the angle has the touchdown. Up, and we've got a chance to take a lead here with a good offensive drive. That pitch is just in time for Smith by the 40, the 50, the 20, the 30, the opposite 20, 10, 5. They're not gonna get him. They are set up inside the 10 here. They go quick, and Gilbert outside. Second option on these plays, and here comes McFarland with the sack. As they do go with that fake handoff, and they're gonna pay for it. Abu Hamde facing the blitz and throws downfield. A bad miss there, Gill. DBs converge on the kneecap of the receiver. Motioning over their tight end. Handing this one off, and it's a bad angle from the safety. Kelsey here on the keeper. He looks to get outside. He's got a bunch of green grass. More in pursuit this time. Does pick up the tackle. And Kelsey, he's gonna step up here. Look what he could get, and that's gonna be 6 points. They've had a lot of success today. Ellington with success on that pass rush. Just kept it, got the job done as he floats for Bailey, and it's a touchdown for the fullback. All those double blocks from Kent State, but we're seeing pass rush from everywhere, all but one cent. Time playmakers hit the field. Kelsey looks to get outside. He picks up the block from Martin. Kelsey down the sideline and skirts out, but still takes a hit. Kelsey bails outside, and he will have another rushing touchdown to make this a 14-point game. Pressure around the edge, and they hit the kicker. Thank you very much, Rockets, but what a performance they put up here against us. 42-31. I feel like the end score line here is a little bit more separated than how this game truly went. A good battle all the way through.
And we would not let history repeat with a MAC title loss. These boys were ready. We had already shown we were the best the MAC had to offer that year. But winning the title, that wasn't enough for us because we got invited to the playoffs.
Offensive line as Bush gets the pressure, but it's McFarland who will take all the credit. Smith leaving that last game with, as Coach Ty said, bumps and bruises. He's got the ball out here on the screen, and we'll have another first down, Kent State. Keeping the offense out there, Tank Hawkins, he goes in motion. They will flip it out his way. Gets by one, and this time he's got the touchdown. Up last time. They go the rollout pass this time, and Bush will collect. Looking to go back to the air, and Ingold will make it back to back. Though time here to throw is outside. Abu Hamdi beat by Donaldson. They keep the same look, though, flipping which side they run to here. And that ball's out. Recovered by Oregon. He's got some blockers in front. And a big block from Johnson sends the big boy to the house. It's Harry Hassman returning from the 5. He cuts outside. Now he's got a lane up the hashes. Picks up a big block as 3 Oregon players taken out. 10, 5, pick 6, Kent State. Threat from him this year. But he picks up a nice cane and then gets rocked. They're going to count that as a sack. Play action here for Oregon. And Ellington is back. He wants another. But a second and goal here as they set up the screen. Blockers in front. Smith to the end zone. As he throws outside, that one's picked off. It is stock still. 1st and 10, Ivan Carrion in motion. They'll flip it out his way late. Step inside from the corner, and Carrion will have the edge. Inside 2 minutes to play in this half. Pass rush nearly gets back there. Rollison, though, cannot keep up. Coach Ty did neglect to share what the injury was, but he's going to still run that ball, and he's got the hash closing in and caught from behind. Short motion left side. Throws an interception. He threw it to Tank Hawkins, and I don't think he realized. A few runs so far in this game. Facing the blitz, and Ingold will pick up the sack this time. And Scott thought he was in good position. But now they've got Donaldson, and Donaldson has the tying score. Bischetti, and that one is no good. They snap that ball. Pressure is brought. Kelsey, he leaks out. He shifts by 1, and he will power to the end zone. Facing the blitz, Kent State should have knocked that ball away, but it's a touchdown, Reddicks. They got to get this ball down the field, and in a bit of a hurry. That one's popped up, and it's picked off by Oregon. Oregon trots out their field goal kicker here, gives them the lead. As that ball's gonna come up short, it'll be an interception. The Ducks will win this game.
And while the scoreboard maybe said that we weren't ready for that opportunity, what it did say to the world was that Kent State was not that little old team in Ohio that we could forget about. We are here, and we are ready for every opportunity you had to give us. And in the offseason, heading into year 4, we would capitalize with a move to the Big 12. After winning the MAC title, we knew we had something else to prove. And with a lot more players joining in to the build of Coach Ty, we had a roster that could go toe-to-toe with anyone in the Big 12. And frankly, we didn't have to wait long to see that come to fruition.
In season 4, we officially open up Big 12 play for Kent State. At home, we welcome in the TCU Horned Frogs. Not breaking, Kent State will force a field goal attempt, chip shot, and through for TCU. As you now have 1st and goal, they just get that ball snapped. He takes a hit in the backfield, spins off of it. This time he's got nothing but space to the outside. See if TCU snaps that ball here. They do. Final play of the quarter will be a sack. There is motion across here. Going with some play action. Lofted throw, and that's going to find the 6'6" receiver. And finally, he will boot that one away, and he made it plus a bit of extra space. Easily now playing back at guard like he did last year. Norton has come in at center, and here goes Carrion, all 6'6", carrying that ball downfield. He gets the juke and once again accelerates. 20, 10, 5, touchdown. And on 4th down, across the middle, Shaver with the touchdown. They got a bunch to the outside here. They set up a wide receiver screen. That's going to be Katula, and he's got his first touchdown in a Kent State uniform. Be a loss of about 1.5 yards. They go back to the running game, and this time it'll be a touchdown for Palmer, the field goal kicker here. and he will poke it by tan side. Schobel throws, and finally breaking open, he will find Page. Plan here, trailing by 10. It's by the first level, but here comes Harry Hassman. He's simply just too good. He makes plays everywhere, and with that, Mason Kelsey will needle us to our first Big 12 win under Coach Ty, and it comes in our very first appearance here in a Big 12 conference game. The offense absolutely dominated this game.
And with our first Big 12 win on our backs, well, we would just keep it running through until West Virginia.
So let's take the field against the Mountaineers and try to put forth an impressive game, land those recruits, and get Mason Kelsey one, if not multiple, school records with a big offensive performance. It's back to that triple option. Flipping it out late, that ball is by Yazzie and will be a turnover. West Virginia scoops it up. Double A-gap look here. The Kent State defense and a demolishing set of blocks in the interior. Miss from Mason Kelsey, who's on the run here trying to get outside. Does break contained by the 40, the 30. Incoming defender bumps him out at the 20 in Bryant. Kent State on the board here, and he'll send that one right in between the uprights. So Trey Thrash, right hash 50-yarder, and no doubt about it. To the 47-yard line now. Press coverage on the outside. Katula has a step. It's fired out there. On the run, Katula. Touchdown. Richie, though, a good accent to that passing game as there goes Blackwell right off the edge. Love to see that from Theodore Blackwell. Could use a bit more of that from Blackwell. Though Shabera will join the party on the outside. Ivan Carrion with a step, ball launched towards the sideline, and it's caught. Essentially goes to waste. Two spread right-hand side. Coates playing a little bit of a fullback spot here. Picking up the blitz, and a risky throw that will be picked off its moon. As Fagan looks to go deep downfield. Zyman bit too far inside and gives up the deep ball touchdown. Side. That leaves Ivan Carrion downfield, and the 6'6" receiver's got his second touchdown of the game. Though the passing yards have come in big chunks here today. Kelsey flips this back to Moon, as they will look to go to the air. Fagan scrambles, he throws to the end zone. 3 of those turnovers. Though he's looking for a third possible touchdown here, Ivan Carrion separates. He's at the 15-10, 5-1 play answer. Virginia looking to once again claim that lead, and they will have it. Ebron right down the middle. It's a weak pistol eye. Keeping it on the triple option. That ball's on the ground and recovered. West Virginia ends your hopes. Ebron will not have it. Timeout number 3 called Kent State. They'll look to get the ball back. Got to make sure you get at least the first down. And you will definitely have that here. Mason Kelsey sliding down about the 49-yard line. There are 18 seconds to work with here. And again, he's just going to look to step up here. Mason Kelsey, first down and out of bounds at the 26. Send this to overtime. And that is not going to be a problem. It is down the middle. We have extra football here in Kent, Ohio. The 2nd and 10. To the run here, to the outside. Richie by the diving Walker. Ball stays at the 13. Little RPO action pass is out late. Katula will have the corner to the end zone. They tried it once. They do not try it again. They do snap that ball, and it's broken up. Now you bring out that field goal unit, and you try to win this game. Ebron will walk it off for West Virginia. They bounce it to the outside. Looked like Kent State had a defender there to shut it down. But down goes number 6.
Every great climb has a mountain, and well, the Mountaineers were ours, handing us our first loss in the Big 12. But what it would do was get our boys' heads back on track. And they'd finish the season out strong, including a walloping of Coach Ty's alma mater. And in just 1 year, we'd be headed to the Big 12 title game in a rematch against TCU.
So is Walker for just about every linebacker award there is. But beat downfield, there goes Steven Dicker, as he will evade the rush down the middle and just step off that mismatch of speed coming into effect here. Passes down the seam, touchdown TCU. They bring the blitz, TCU picks it up well, and there's just an open target. Shaver going right back to him, follows those blocks. Good block downfield, and Dupree and Jimmy Yazzie will have the touchdown here for Penn State. Inside a minute to go. Handing this one off. Humphrey, though, he's got space, and a touchdown yet again, TCU. So at the 17, a little bit of some play action. And they toss this one up. It's intercepted by McGee. A little bit of some play action. Ivan Carrion, he's got a step, and it's going to land right in the breadbasket. He might need a little bit more of it. They go back to Carrion, and he plucks it away. Going with some play action, and it's picked off outside. Robinson, the defense makes the play. It's a little bit too deep downfield. Line does well, but will not stop Tim Snead. Looking to go deep downfield. It's one-on-one, and a touchdown. Shaver. Second and goal. Motion Catula all the way over. Play action. Rolling. Throwing toward the back of the end zone, and caught. Ivan Carrion. Touchdown. They will look to go with 3 verts, and the pressure hits Bobby's back again. Looking at about a 48-yarder, and sneaking it in the left upright. Kelsey barking out some calls. They hand it off. That's Terrence Bailey. Around 20, they do finally snap that ball. Yazzie left-hand side, and he's got the lead for Kent State. As they have 3 options out left, but that ball hits the turf. Kent State completes the comeback. The defense holds, and they win the Big 12 in their first season. Kent State's season is not done. They add a trophy to their case. They might need a bigger case, but now they have their eyes set on the postseason.
And winning the Big 12 in our first year in the conference, it wasn't just a trophy to add to the cabinet. It was proof of all the work and all the play of every player that had come before this season and that of the season. Once again, we'd be invited to play in the playoffs for the 3rd time against TCU.
Left hash about the 11-yard line. Call it a 21-yard attempt. That is no good. Kelsey does look to step up and throws downfield. It's intercepted. It was a one-on-one with Catula. Schobel, once again, dancing around. He throws. Touchdown. Coming back in, it's Steven Dicker. TCU sends everyone out, and the diving grab. And lofting this one outside. This time, Harry Hassman has all he needs and more. Missed one from earlier. This time he slices it through. Slight motion left-hand side. Floating over the middle, and they floated it too much. That one's picked off by Miller. Looking for an angle. Dupree trying to cut him off inside the 5 and forces him out at the 5. Schobel will throw, and a bad angle by Gilliam, who's trying to will them down the field here. Some more triple option. There goes Fair. Up center field. That ball's free, but scooped up. Ivan Carrion. Way down the field and looking to split the defense. Gilliam back to a 3-score game. A little bit of some play action and chucking this ball downfield. Ivan Carrion is under it. What a showing from Fair. They've got to come away with a stop or a turnover, just something. As Gilliam on the quick ball, he tosses that to the turf. Rollison scoops. We asked for it. The defense provides. It's a 4-man rush. Nelson gets the pressure and takes down Schobel. Blackwell getting pressure, though he whiffs. Passes downfield, and it's caught. Breaking away and juking into the end zone. And even then, he looks to blow by him with some separation. Hooking up with him is fair. Curtis comes on out, right hash. Just has to get a good angle on it, and he's got a great angle. We need it all here, though. And right down the seam again. And Zyman just didn't tackle him. And they get the free play, but they might not need it. Ivan Carrion does catch up to it. Hard count again. It's another free play with a quick flip outside. Coates will have the touchdown. 24 seconds, somewhere around there. Starting way back up here. Letting this one develop, though that ball is out, and there it will be. So the hunt for the first playoff win is still ongoing here for Coach Ty, but he had to make the tough decision today to take out his starting quarterback.
And while we did win 2 battles this year, we did not win the war against TCU, leaving us with something else to prove, as we were not able to still find our first win yet in the playoffs, meaning the big teams, they still didn't think much of us. But one thing is for sure, we earned our spot in those playoff games. And when we went to the offseason, we knew we had to do whatever it took to push us over the edge. We went hard in recruiting. We kept around some big-time players. And we made sure to take advantage of all off-season workouts. But there comes a point in these rebuilds where you start to wonder, are we here? Or how difficult can we make this for us? And Season 5 really was that transition for Coach Ty and his Golden Flashes. We see the senior quarterback Mason Kelsey leading this unit with a star running back in Jimmy Yazzie. We're running 3 deep at receiver. We've got ourselves a stout offensive line. And the one and only Bobby Ellington, senior, leading us up front. We've got some linebackers ready to go play hard. We've got 3 starting cornerbacks and a solid set of safeties backing us up. We just came off a Big 12 title. We've made it to 2 playoff games, but we haven't won a playoff game yet. This season was all about that for Coach Ty, dominating. And frankly, the league had the same expectations.
But with the game plan locked in, we head out to Columbus, Ohio. These 2 teams have not faced each other in about 2 seasons. Last time, it came down to the wire. The higher-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes nearly toppled by Kent State. Since then, Kent State has won a MAC title, a Big 12 title. This is a true matchup for who reigns at the top of Ohio. But it does have the Buckeyes set up about the 2-yard line. More pull, Page upended as he crosses that goal line. He's got a strong leg, and he's putting it all behind that one. Dropping in, field goal is good. They do bring out the nose tackle, Bobby Ellington, and they run Meredith right at him. Cutting back inside, Meredith has the touchdown. Though a forced turnover could be great here for the Golden Flash, and they're gonna get it. That ball gets just by the receiver. Jackson dancing around, he tries to get outside. Looking for perhaps a little bit of a sprint out pass. Kelsey having to dance around here. He still finds that space. Looking to get out of bounds, but taken down inbounds. He's going to put it all he can, but that one never had a chance. I think the laces were in, but they do not break. Field goal, though, is good. People thought he would be a starter this year. Tossing this one downfield. What a throw, Mason Kelsey. Do trot out the field goal team to give them something this drive, but Meredith shoved back the DT. Going to the run here. Hargreaves breaks the tackle, breaks a second tackle, and that is a touchdown. Is that hard count? No one offers. Passes over the middle. That's going to be Harry Hassman. Cuts back left side. Hassman has the space. Hassman has the touchdown. Make this a 10-point game with a made 2-point try, and they've got Lake outside for it. It's 24-14. Launching this one downfield, that's Armin Hay. Touchdown, Kent State. We're staring at 4 down opportunities here. They do get that out to Harry Hassman. And he's got space. He's up the hash. Inside 2 minutes, he dives down. Goal line set. Mason Kelsey touchdown. Kent State will beat the Buckeyes. They've just got to tack on the PAT. Kent State takes down the Buckeyes, opening their season with a loss at home, 28-24.
Getting a chance to finally beat the team that reigns top dog of your own state was absolutely massive. And frankly, from that point on, the Buckeyes would be answering to us. But that didn't mean the whole season went smoothly. In fact, there were a couple late season scares.
As we send this one to the 4th. Colorado right now in front of number 4 Kent State, 34-31. 3rd and 19. Lofted throw, Harry Hassman with the grab. Sticky fingers, reeling it in tight coverage. What a throw as well from Mason Kelsey. We're going to go again back to the air. It's to the flat, and no one's on the outside. Yazzie the deep back. Now they're stacking the left side of the field here. Running that way. Yazzie will just trot on in. You can't get beat. Over the top here. Pressure, and that forces the errant throw. It's picked off by Earls. That will be your ball game. Kent State with the pick to seal it on Boyette. Here we go to the 4th. Sun Devils in charge right now, 23-6. 2 for 2. They start a little bit of some RPO, get it out to Catula, who turns up the sideline. Good block there from Harry Hassman. Gets by the safety. Catula headed downfield and will outrun this defense. Rolling this way, throwing high to Catula. Touchdown for a chip shot that will hit. Kent State with the comeback.
And in fact, we did suffer a non-conference loss in a 4th quarter collapse to Clemson. But the best thing about this season is that the boys always responded, and they came ready to play their 2nd straight Big 12 title game.
But as we turn to Arlington, Texas, for the Big 12 title game, both these teams are fighting for their shot at the college football playoffs to make that first round. So expect a whole lot of underneath as he goes back underneath Armin Hay. Kelsey took a hit on that play, and he is remaining down on the field. Hassman going to go in motion here. He's going to get the quick flip with one defender. He will beat Harry Hassman. 2 spread either side, running some power. Fenderson breaks a tackle and spins into the end zone. And it is 2nd and 12. Bringing the blitz, Tim Snead slices through the line and takes down the quarterback. 38-yarder. And it is no problem for Baylor. Looks like man coverage across the board here. Pressure will finally hit home for Kent State. It's the senior in Larry Long. Back at the 9-yard line here, they bring the blitz. Pressure again hits home. This time it's the other DT, Bobby Ellington. Fair is going to look to roll to the left side. Now he's got some space. Fair to the end zone. Handed off. Simon got back there, but Kent State rallies behind. Uwe Zuoke. And he will hit this field goal. Sorting out the defense, who sends 6, and Weil will bring him down. Sends out David Uwe Zuoke, and he will hit that one. And it's 4th and 10. Throws up the hash. Christic breaks it up. But in a cheeky move, Coach Ty brings out the field goal unit here. And Kent State tacks on 3 to end your Big 12 title game. The quarterback play wasn't anything crazy. It got the job done. How that does in the playoff, again, only time will tell. But Kent State will take home that Big 12 title and ink their way to the playoffs.
And this is really where we knew all of this hard work paid off. Back-to-back conference title games. And once again, an invite to the postseason.
But it is now or never for Coach Ty and Kent State. Their third trip to the playoffs. This time is in their own home state of Ohio. Though on the road to Columbus, Ohio, facing off against the Buckeyes, the favored team. Cleveland in motion. Now they're going to look for a throw. Right side and caught. Harry Hassman holds on. And that ball's lofted. Some definite contact made downfield. But the only yellow I see on the field is the Kent State helmet and cleats. Buckeyes, though, will look to go to the air and go deep downfield. One-on-one. And Christic got lost. So 3rd and 7 here at the 12. Kent State would love to force a field goal here. And Blackwell brings him down. But the field goal is right down the middle here. David Uwe-Zuoke. And he will hit this one true. Do come out in a strange formation at a diamond set. And it opens up the center of the field. Man coverage that time is beat. As they're just trying to figure out something new. Lofted throw. Hassman gets the catch, and he's got the touchdown for the second time today. Due to the injury to Larry Long there in the first half. RPO and a double block from the receiver on the outside. Vildor in a foot race. Shamari Earls can't catch him. It's a quick answer from the Buckeyes. Empty set here, bringing the blitz, and it will hit home. Shabera from the left side. He'll take the swing. He's got a convoy in front. Harry Hassman turning up the numbers here. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10. How about one play touchdown? It's a base package defense here. The throw downfield. Christic, no! Check that. Jones gets the pick for David Uwe-Zuoke. Chance number 2 here, and he'll go 2 for 2. 27-24. Buckeyes looking to go downfield, and that one's gonna get picked right back. David Uwe-Zuoke looking to make it 3 for 3, and he's got it no problem. Facing the pressure, pass is thrown, tight end, fumbles that ball, it's scooped up by Titus Weil. It's another mistake from the Buckeyes. They will knock out the Buckeyes in their own home stadium. Kent State has won a playoff game. Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. They got the job done, and they took away both the run and the pass.
Not only did we beat Ohio State to open the season, but we knocked them out in the postseason. But it wouldn't be any easier moving on to face the Longhorns.
But for both teams, highly decorated or not, they head to Atlanta, Georgia for the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl in what will be one of these teams' final game of the season. The quarterfinals of the college football playoffs pins the Texas Longhorns, a favorite to win it all, against the Kent State Golden Flashes. And play action here comes Shabera. Left hash from about the 18 mark at a 28-yarder. No problem, 100% on the season. The 1st and 15, good release on the outside. Hassman is underneath it at the 30, the 20, the 10, chasing him down but will not catch him. Offense remains on the field, split backfield. They hand it off. Simon outside is chopped down. It's a defensive stand. But it is a spread look here. Quarterback keep, Wilson to the end zone. Trailing by 3 here. The offense has not seen the field much at all. Those scales, he finds a break to the outside. He's headed up the sideline by the 50, the 40. Longhorns closing in, and they will shove him out. He struggled in that Ohio State game. Now it's Cheeseman with space. Kent State will have another short scoring drive. Gonna break up the trips with motion to the left-hand side, make it 2 receivers either side. And Wilson looking to scramble but cannot get by. Big old Bobby Ellington. They look to go his way, and he will have it this time. Texas Longhorns kick this one off, this time avoiding scales. They go to Armin Hay, and he gets a block. The hash is open. Armin Hay at the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20. No one's gonna catch him. 99-yard kick return touchdown. Hard count again, this will be a free play. Cheeseman looks to leak left side and will have the speed to separate of the half. Wilson under pressure, this time Blackwell hits. With some pre-snap motion now, Yazzie does have that space. Separated, and it will be a Kent State touchdown. Longhorns air this out, and they've got Westbrook over the top of the safeties. No one's gonna catch him. A touchdown to come, but it will. Harry Hassman takes a massive late hit there. Kent State is headed to the semifinals. Just what a performance. All the way from the top to the bottom, every level of this game. Offense, defense, special teams, backups. The offense was simplistic, but it got it done in the special teams, vastly helping them out. But it is a dominant one-sided affair here in Atlanta for the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl.
But with 2 years in a row where we lost in the playoffs in round one, we would go 500 in our playoff stint now with 2 wins in a row. But we'd have to make it 3 against the Pittsburgh Panthers.
But as we make our way down to New Orleans, set to kick off the All-State Sugar Bowl, we've got a high-flying battle of 2 blue and gold teams, only one of which can make it to the national championship. Facing the blitz, it's picked up well initially. Pressure still getting back there, and eventually Larry Long will get that sack. And just did enough there to disrupt it. But this time Hassman, he's got space. Just okay enough. Harry Hassman reels it in and stretches across that goal line. 2nd and 16 following the loss. Looking to go to the air, and the running back leaks out and gets by Christic. He's got the sideline with no one left. Sexton will tie this game. Cheeseman tries that hard count again, 3rd and 5. Throwing underneath, this time it's Katula who finds his way back into the end zone. The 1st and goal here, play action, throwing to the tight end, using that momentum and carrying it to the end zone. Back to the line, triple option, getting it out, that's Cleveland, and he's got the space to reclaim that lead. Cheeseman taking advantage of that. As he swings this one out, it's to Harry Hassman. Pick up those blocks and explodes forward. Getting away from this defense, he's up the numbers and to the end zone after that big play. Kinsey under pressure, met by Blackwell and taken down. Rolling to the right, and then that ball gets popped up and picked off. Von Ingold gets by the quarterback. Yazzie tracks him down at the 2. The 1st and goal here, Sexton just does enough to get by Tim Snead. Katula in at quarterback here. It's the Wildcat look. Lofting it outside, hooking up with Harry Hassman, and it's going to be a one-play answer for Kent State. Once again, Robert Katula throwing that ball. He finds Harry Hassman on the outside field here. As they look to go downfield, Zyman picks it off. Again, they intended for Sexton, and he runs right into Barker, who shucks off that block. And play action here. Cheeseman wide open outside, finds Cleveland, who shakes the defender and gets in. Could once again open up this offense. There's still plenty of time in this one, though Sexton gets free as he's trying to break away, and I think he might. Zyman in pursuit, but cannot grab that ankle. And he hit this one from distance. He's got the accuracy, but it drops short. No good. As they do go to the passing game, no problem. Titus Weil picks up the 4th sack for Kent State. As they do open things up here for a throw left side for an open side of the field and the touchdown. 4 down territory here, but that ball is lofted downfield, and it's intercepted by Derek Jackson III. Victory formation, and your Kent State Golden Flashes are headed to the national championship, beating the Pitt Panthers 40-35. And the safety from last year's team that no one wanted to see on the field again makes the biggest play and inks our way to the Natty.
And at this point, everyone's just in awe. Just 5 years ago, we were the worst program in college football for a long period of time. And now you're telling me with this coach stepping in, he has taken us to the national championship?
But no pressure matches the kind of pressure these two teams are under today as we head down to Miami, Florida, Hard Rock Stadium. The national championship set to begin. Lincoln Riley leading the USC Trojans and Coach Tyrone Roseboom leading his Kent State Golden Flashes. This defense. Shivers, though, taken down. It is Shabera. The right hash. About a 37-yarder is no problem here. Your help leading the back end, and a sack comes in. Titus Wild, Kent State sent 6. Not normally one of their top few options. Up the seam and picked off Derek Zyman. We saw that in the semifinals. He gets another. On a 3rd and 5 will look to be a free play here. Kamari Smith, though, has the touchdown. As they go quarterback keeper, Shivers left side. Big hit, Christic. That ball's down and recovered by Bobby Ellington. Trying to extend their lead, make it a touchdown game. David Uwe-Zuoke has got it through. As they let that clock run down as much as possible, hit it through. We've got a 10-6 ball game as we hit halftime. Reading that defense quickly. Under pressure this time, though, he gets clocked. It's Larry Long. Time here for Shivers. Blackwell gets some pressure, and it forces another errant throw. This one's picked off by Jones, looking for the angle, but shoved out by Shivers inside the 1-yard line. Here it's the end zone. Cheeseman, they say he's got it. Change things up a little bit here, shucking off the Snead tackle, and there it goes. Trojans hit their first touchdown of the game at the 3. Throws open, wide open, Kurtman. Hassman will go in motion. Throwing right side, and it's picked off. Pass just a little bit off the mark. Trojans needed that one. They were desperate for it. It's at the 28-yard line, facing the quick blitz, and 4 defenders immediately in the face of Shivers. David Uwe-Zuoke, and he misses. Shivers rolling off his marker, throws a 3rd pick. Derek Jackson with another as he sets up Kent State at the midfield 47. Yazzie still back there, and he's got a gap, falling forward for that 2-score lead. Up here, 2nd and 8, and it's a whole shot. Christic beat in coverage. It was 1-on-1 with 1:40. That clock will roll all the way down, and little old Kent State has done it. National Championships, Coach Ty in season number 5 has led the Golden Flash to the ultimate glory, taking down the USC Trojans in a game where both sides' defenses largely held a good chunk of that game. For Kent State, their defense getting pressure, getting turnovers was the key to this one. Their offense did not have a long scoring drive of its own. They all came off the turnovers set up by the pressure from the defensive line. Miles Cheeseman, the redshirt freshman, is going to get awarded the player of the game. You let me know your thoughts on that. I don't know. I think it goes to the defense as an entire unit. The pass rush, the secondary capitalizing off that pass rush. Trojans still hit on a number of big passes, leading this game in passing yards, but it was not enough to take down the Flash.
I don't think little old Kent, Ohio was as rowdy as they had ever been that night. But the work was not done yet. While we did have a tremendous season, Coach Ty still knew that there was another step that we could take. And in the offseason, he would push that. We've already played in the MAC. We won some titles there. We played in the Big 12. We won a couple more titles there. In the offseason, he worked out a deal that would move us to the Big 10. We're talking regular matchups with Ohio State, USC, UCLA, Oregon, Michigan, and so many more. But going into that year, we had to find ourselves an answer at one of the biggest spots on the roster. Who was going to be our starting quarterback? Because Mason Kelce graduated arguably as one of the best quarterbacks to ever go through Kent State. He rewrote record book after record book. While we may have not known it at the time, we had ourselves a couple national championship quarterbacks on this roster. And frankly, it was a all-hands-on-deck season that really got going out the gates.
But no matter the outcome today, this is a historic game for Kent State on the road over to Nebraska, where they look to kick off their first official Big Ten game. Nebraska now with a stacked front. Triple option, pitches outside. Maddox has got nothing but space. 2nd and 10. Looking to go back to the air, and Blunt gets the sack. Action there for Kent State. Triple option pitch right back to Maddox, and once again, Nebraska has no one to contain the outside. Yet again, looking to go to the air here, and it's going to be picked off. Garvin. Tight one-on-one coverage. That one intended for Irving. It will look to be some more triple option. This time Naylor coming around, gets the toss, and he will take it to the house. And a read option look here. There goes the young quarterback, getting by the safety. A bad angle from Council, as they will look to throw. Shabara, though, grabs the ankle, turning over the quarterback. Armin Hayak, quarterback here, gives this one to Lord, who looks to get outside with a big block there from the left tackle. 3rd and 10 at the 15. Lofted throw to the back corner. Council goes up, somehow keeps the feet in bounds. It's an interception. But 3rd and 5 here. Cheeseman keeps weaving. That ball is tipped up and scooped up, but falling on top of it is one of the Nebraska linebackers. And it's 3rd down. Schiller goes up and slammed down into the end zone by Zyman. 4:11, the clock pauses as there's a spin, breaking the tackle. Maddox with the hat trick. A few minutes to go here, and being returned by Dobbs. He's got a lane. It opens up. Good block downfield. It's Juan Hugh, the tight end, in pursuit, but Dobbs breaking away. Kick 6 for Nebraska. But that is an emphatic win here in a top 10 matchup in our official Big Ten opener.
And frankly, we went from a team that everyone overlooked, scheduled us as a pancake game, frankly paid us for them to come beat us, to a team that had a target on our back. We've won a national title now. We came in here to the Big Ten and we won our first game against Nebraska fairly convincingly. And frankly, we just let that roll on to week 4.
Like that news title said, all eyes will be on us in Kent, Ohio. Number 4, Golden Flashes, and number 7, UCLA Bruins. Very well, he potentially has earned even more snaps after the quarterback gets back, but watch out, Shabara for UCLA. Facing the quick rush, Lilly throws an interception. Garvin in the end zone pumps the brakes and will take not a touchback. Looking for that triple option, Cheeseman just gets it out. Maddox, he's on the run by the 20, the 10, and no one's gonna catch him. Bruins trying to find some points here in the half, but here comes the pressure. Kakaha gets another. Trying to preserve some time for his offense as the Bruins just managed to squeak that one in. Trying to buy some time, Cheeseman spins around and throws the interception. Lake just never quite adjusted to it, and Bruins get the ball at the 33. Inside a minute to play, inside the 30. Quick pressure, though, in the 3rd sack of the first half alone for Coach Ty. Can see if he can handle it. 3rd and 10, pressure's right back. It's Shabara double dipping here in the first half. We'll be open at half. We've got a field goal attempt. And UCLA does it. Out onto the field here. And he'll send that one right down the middle for David Uwezuoke. And he's pulling that one massively. As they do hand it off, Goodwell with good blocking on the left side will get in untouched. Rolling and throwing. Flag comes down as Lord crosses that goal line. And the camera seems to be pointed at Naylor, who was a receiver on a play. He was out on a route, and they're going to get him for offensive pass interference. Missed his previous, hit his first, and he will go 2 for 3 here. First and goal, quarterback keeper, Lilly, touchdown. First and goal. Cheeseman will step up and tie this ball game. As the pressure almost gets to Lilly, and it does. I don't even know who got the sack there. Looks like Spillman. Far on his field goals, hugging that left upright. This time, it's almost right down the center line. Keeping with this heavy look, they want to get Maddox in space, and as the first touchdown came, so will the last. Kent State walks off the Bruins in overtime, and they stay perfect on the season. Coach Ty set that play up multiple times throughout this game, forcing the Bruins in, giving a slower, more run-stopper focus on that edge, and with only the safety over the top, good luck keeping up with the speed of Nate Maddox.
And at this point, you can't blame the boys for feeling almost invincible, right? They won the Natty. The roster had a large turnover to it, but they came out and they played hard. They picked up 2 massive wins early in the season. And their egos were not going to get checked for quite some time.
As we head into enemy territory, a win is a must. With just 2 games left here in the regular season, undefeated, and so is USC, Kent State must continue to win to have that chance at the Big Ten title. Instead, brings out the field goal unit here, right hash, and right down the middle. During the regular practice week, goes deep, play 1, and it's caught for the touchdown. Damn! And that's just something you simply can't have. Penn State has to punt this one away. Maddox on the return, cuts it over to left-hand side, sets up the slit back right side. Now this is trouble. He's got speed. 20, 10, 5, and touchdown, Nate Maddox. And a handoff here to Nate Maddox. Has some blockers and gets through. He's at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Nate Maddox tiptoes at the 3 and finds the end zone. Plus side. Quick flip is outside to Maddox. Good double team block downfield by the receivers. Maddox with the spin. Maddox taken down at the 5 with Nate Maddox. And it's David Uwezuoke, as always, playing it close, leaving first and goal. And a quarterback keep here. A bad step inside from Natson, and it's a touchdown here for Caleb Montgomery. Slipped it inside last time. This time he just misses. A risky throw there. Penn State could have easily made something happen. As Cheeseman steps up here, he had a receiver in theory, but he doesn't risk the throw. And sometimes for him, that's a good thing. He runs that one in. Something the sophomore will just have to learn a little bit more to do. But there goes their top receiver right up the seam, beating the press man. As quarterback Cheeseman looks to keep this one. Lowers the shoulder, but the ball is down, and it's recovered by Penn State. So instead, settling for the field goal off the turnover. As they'll look to go back to the air outside for the touchdown. It's Mixon. What it was. But Mixon gets the speed, and he's gone for the Penn State lead. Once again, they make it a trip set to the right-hand side. This time they will get the free play. But the rush is going to take it away. You do get 5 yards closer. Do you trust the leg of your kicker at this point? They're saying final. They picked up the flag. This game is over on a play that clearly was a penalty. Penn State gets the win. No wonder why Coach Ty looked so upset at the sideline. There was an offside on that play. And I could have sworn I saw the ref throw that flag. But at the end, the team comes out celebrating. The home team, that is. Kent State loses their first game of the season. And this is going to be a clip to show the NCAA board. Because as that ball is snapped, Penn State's player's head is already hitting Okoye. You can't tell me that this is not a penalty and we just got home field advantaged.
But with only one loss there on the season, things would come down to that final regular season game with a tight top of the Big Ten. Penn State would have to pull off a win against the Trojans.
And the crowd here in little old Kent, Ohio is ready to cheer them on. The biggest game this town has ever seen. So much on the lines, the future as well, with 3 5-star players all watching. And USC bringing out the field goal unit here. That must be why Coach called that timeout. Trojans still go ahead by the field goal. Second field goal attempt. This time shaded right side. And it is 2 for 2. 3 receiver set as look to set up a screen backside. Latimer over the down player. That was Shabera. Or at least that was the expectation. They actually bring out the kicking team, and Shabera blocks it. It's scooped up by Garvin. He's got plenty of speed. In fact, he's breaking away. USC not even on the screen as he dives in for a 2-point play. Back to the triple option, and there's the space you don't want to give Maddox. He is gone. Under pressure, it's a lofted throw that's intercepted at the goal line. Looking for Theory. Has looked to set up something downfield. Fair off of his back foot, and that one's going to come up about 30 yards short of the closest defender. To try to tie this game, David Uwe-Zuoke. He, however, hits it true and forces a field goal attempt. Shabera blocks another one. Weathersby sprinting to scoop this one up with not a USC defender in sight at the 30, 20, 10, a lead for Kent State. Good speed facing the quick rush. And once again, back to number 3, who breaks 2 tackles and ties up this ball game. At the 9-yard line, second and goal. Fair barking out a few calls here. Bunch left. It's Maddox right down the middle, and he's got the touchdown. But they still need to find some more points here. And a good burst of speed to the outside for the tying touchdown. Or it's overtime. And that one is angled well. Does it have the power? Yes, it does. David Uwe-Zuoke takes down the USC Trojans in your regular season finale. For the 3rd time this game, special teams comes through. And we will be headed to the Big Ten title game with the potential for a first-round bye in the playoffs still open. And by all indications, the Big Ten title will be a matchup against the Ohio State Buckeyes.
And in games like that, you don't want it to come easy. You want that battle, and we had ourselves a battle with the Trojans. But with that, we earned ourselves new opportunity. This time, not only was it a Big Ten title game, but it was against the Ohio State Buckeyes.
And they might have an option in the back of the end zone, and finding him, it's Theory. They are going for it here. Back over the middle, and it's Rochelle. Ended up squeezing in around him, so David Uwe-Zuoke, the hero last week. Touchdown last time they were down here. And over the middle, they've got the option to take their first lead. So they will have that free play. Lord, downfield a one-on-one, and he gets the grab, and he will take it to the end zone. Instead, goal to go at the 4. It's Page slipping the tackle as Sneed. Buckeyes, David Uwezuoke to make it 2 for 2 as he drops that one through and making them pay for it. Though they might make him pay for this one, Armin Hay, as that ball drops in, is by the 20, 10-5 touchdown. Garvin now playing in the slot. Not seeing much pass rush, but Council doesn't need it. He gets the pick, tries to bounce it outside. It is a turnover for Kent State. Can he go 3 for 3? It's leaning left, but stays inside to put them within 2, and he will slot it through. Fair rolls outside, throws, it's caught. Maddox breaking the tackle, turns around and extends that lead. And they've got him. Hardy with his second touchdown today. It's for the game. It's by the first level, and he just swatted it right back to the Buckeyes. But we had a game stolen from us due to a penalty. This time the penalty comes in our favor, and the Big Ten title is headed to Kent, Ohio. But we will add another trophy to our case, the Big Ten title, 4 straight conference championship seasons for the Golden Flash.
And at this point, it was clear Kent State had the Buckeyes number, sending us back to the playoffs and a chance for us to defend our national title. But they didn't make it easy on us.
They go back outside here, and they are back to Lund on the corner, and there is no catching him. As they do get a man to jump, however, I don't see a flag down. No problem, though. Maddox will take it to the end zone. 4th and 1. And the pass is going to be picked off in the end zone. Spillman jumps in front. Will end up being a pass here. And downfield, it's picked off a second time today. Though they're looking for Tam in the back corner. What a throw, Kevon Fair. Hurry up here for some more play action. Now it's going to be a fumble. Scooped up, Makiela. There is not a Kent State player in sight here as he is sprinting towards the sideline to tie this game. Free play. Up the sideline, though the pass is lofted and intercepted. UCLA gets the ball on what essentially is our second arm punt of this game. 4th and inches, chip shot, field goal. Bruins do take the lead. They like the matchup, and it's going to pay off. Maddox with a rushing touchdown. Clear winner after 4, and Goodwill coughs up that ball. Tim Sneed is on it. Now it's just the quarterback back there, and he will finish off what Maddox started for the Bruins. But way to not give up as it's Wolf diving in. How about make it a 2-play drive? Bruins clock in the 4th. Up by 4. Maddox with another lane. Weaving through, and now he's by Bugs. Wave goodbye to the defense. It's Maddox for the touchdown. They go hurry up. They have the number advantage, and they're going to find Lund anyway. A strong running game here late on will push us by the Bruins. On the road, neutral site, home advantage for UCLA is not enough. 2 more games to get through this year for us to host another national championship. But this one does feel good as we take the Rose Bowl from the Bruins inside the Rose Bowl.
Clearly, someone at the top didn't like seeing little old Kent State make its way to the top here of college football, giving us essentially a road game in the playoffs. We got it done. And in fact, once again, the trend continued. We would have to do it again against USC, the Cotton Bowl.
Instead, field goal unit right hash. And that one is perfect for the Trojans to spread either side here for them. With another quick throw again, splitting. It is Garvin giving it up. Empty set, though, to follow as they look to go to the air, and that's going to be picked off. Derek Zeitman set underneath Flanders will return the ball up to the midfield line. Second and goal. A little RPO action, and this time it is caught Armin Hay, and he's got the touchdown. Looks like a base defensive look for Kent State. Passes short of the end zone, but Latimer gets by Council. An absolute chip shot here that he will send through. Bunch left-hand side. They might go back his way, and he just sneaks inside that goal line. Instead, first and goal. Running right into the blitz, but Latimer powers through. As Fair looks to step up here, and he's got the lane to the end zone. Makes some big plays, gets some pass rush, Kikaha tosses down, good speed. There, second and 8 now. Now there's the space. Nate Maddox, look at that acceleration. The 18, and they hand it off to Latimer, returning to this game. Though he coughs up that ball, big hit Council, and he recovers for his second field goal attempt, and he pushes it wide right. He's got a good pocket in front of him. Throws, touchdown, Trojans to the Natty. And he just absolutely shanked it. That's about as far away as you can kick a ball from the uprights. Fair falls forward and into the end zone. Latimer out of this game, but they don't need him. It's a walk-in touchdown for the Trojans. Quick throw, and Simon with the big hit, but he doesn't take him down. Trojans into the end zone. Same here, no, they do look to pass that ball. It's out to the flat. 2-point is good. And it's Nate Maddox with a great wall in front. He will have the end zone. No one offers. It's caught by Theory. And they go right back to where they started this game with the RPO. It is just as successful as the first time, though a little bit worrying. It's spread from the Trojans, a little bit of some pre-snap motion. There's time to find the target. It's Irving facing that blitz. Good speed, throws, and has Flanders. A better advantage over the middle. It's caught. That's two-point catches for Theory for the Trojans. As it's thrown and dropped, Armin Hay in the end zone. Ace formation, motion in from the right-hand side. They go with a toss, and it is stopped, but broken tackle. Trojans win the game. It will not be a repeat for Coach Ty. Lincoln Riley and the Trojans get their revenge in, I don't even know the number of overtimes that was. 8 overtimes? 7? They had the tackle in the backfield to keep this game going, but they didn't wrap up. And the Trojans will make their way to the national championship. And it will be a solemn plane ride home for Kent State. Making it all this way, losing just 2 games on the season. You won the Big Ten title, but you're knocked out by a Big Ten team.
Despite, though, that season coming to an end, premature to what we were hoping, looking back at that year, I've got to be really proud of where that team got to, considering all the change that happened. Our legendary quarterback had to leave. And frankly, there was just so many questions about the team that stayed consistent throughout that year. The quarterback controversies, though it wouldn't be the last. But Coach felt like he had the guy he was looking for. Unable to bring in any other quarterbacks in the offseason, he felt the redshirt freshman Del Griffin would be this team's leader, especially with the one and only Nate Maddox helping lead the team from the backfield. And you can't forget about the surprise duo of linebackers Robert Bond and Jake Kaminsky. And the boys came into the season hungry, especially in North Carolina, with a massive 70-38 win. But there was just a few teams that no matter what year we were in, they just kept popping up with some terrific games. At the 22, facing the rush, it's Lee with the sack with this running back group. It's going to be tested as it's picked off Christic. Now he's got some speed here. Breaking away from the Bruins. They don't got a whole lot of speed at receiver. It's the 10-5 and diving frog splat into the end zone in open field. Oh, that's going to be a problem. No defenders left down the middle. See if he can hit this one, and he does not have that one on mark. First and goal is a quarterback keeping. Lilly will take the lead for the Bruins. And he's got it perfectly down the middle into the hands of the All-State logo. But Naylor takes the field here. Dotting the I, good cut back to the left, and it will be Naylor. As Lilly looks to step up here. Now he's being spied by Bond the whole way. Perhaps a switch up might be necessary as Christic gets his second pick of the game out on the field. As they look to go with the fake, and he's caught from behind. UCLA ball facing the rush, and Lilly's getting dropped by Robert Bond. That leaves a 3rd and 1. Handoff, big hit, fumble, and diving on it is Hyman. With the time remaining, it's victory formation. And once again, Kent State is sneaking away from the UCLA Bruins in a tight ball game. 17-14. Terrell Christic taking your player of the game with 2 interceptions, though arguably Robert Bond might have needed that award. Durant has had a big impact on this game. Bond has been right there with him step for step. And it's that late game fumble that truly decides the difference between these two teams. And the fact that we just kept finding a way to pull off these wins was truly magnificent. And it kept the boys amped up as they would continue to pull off wins. And that included a pit stop with Michigan in a massive game that could have dramatically changed the course of this season. Add the true freshman open. Triple option here, though. That's going to get to Maddox, and he's going to have an easy touchdown run here. As they look to go to the air, the pressure this time's going to get back there. Ball's on the ground and recovered by Michigan. Looks like about a 5-man front here, but dropping back and sending the corner blitz. It sets Jaden Blunt free. Rylan here from the right hash, and he just manages to get that one inside the upright. The line up in a shotgun look here, looking perhaps for that end zone. It's lofted out. Nate Maddox weaving back inside, and he makes it look oh so simple. Corners up this upcoming class, and that one's not going to be ripped free by Christic. This one will be lofted up for Eagles, who goes up and brings it down in the one-on-one. At all times here today, Babcock looking to get outside, slips the tackle, and he will scramble on in. Forcing a 3rd and 3, and it's caught. First down, Montague into the end zone. It's a Michigan lead. Field goal attempt in front of him. It's on angle, and he does get it through. As they look to go to the air here, and it's going to be a sack. And it is the true freshman, Matthew Gage. Coach Ty once again baits him, and Del Griffin will take the kneel. 24-3. Indeed, that sack by Matthew Gage is the deciding factor. And with us feeling almost invincible at this point with what we've been able to pull off, there would always be that humbling experience. While we've seen this team be plenty aggressive in games in the past, they do bring out the field goal unit here, and he will chip it through. And it's going to be play action under pressure again. Lofted, and that one's going to get picked off. Drifting back into the passing window is the corner. Penn State blocked a couple last week. Not going to get there this week, but it ricochets off the tippy top of that right upright. Work in the blocking game. And he's going to get the touchdown with it. Corners in the league, in and out. Looks like an early jump that they don't need because Carter finds the end zone. About a week ago, this one is accurate, but it drops short and ricochets off the standing post. Single high safety, and they've got their tight end open. That's Lupke. It's dropped over, and that's gonna be a touchdown. Possessions at 10 points they have struggled to overcome all game, but slipping through the tackle, there goes Ben Carter for the touchdown. And they need a block. Maddox is close, but not close enough. And they will. Final play, and there's a rip sack coming off the edge. Steve Lee into the back of the knees. Pass 3rd and long, and floated wide open outside. Ben Carter with the hat trick for Penn State. As they just get that snap off in time, and it's a good thing because Eagles had some space. But the other 15 from the defensive side gets the pick on a play that should have been a touchdown. From similar distance earlier, Penn State hit one off the right upright. This one is through. I guess they're going to say he landed out of bounds, not sure, but a 2nd and goal, and in to tie this game is Naylor. Penn State kicks and ricochets in to win the game. Penn State nearly, who was on the opposite side of that in the first half, ricocheted out off the right upright. This time they ricochet in off the left upright. And give all credit to Ben Carter. What an absolutely massive game for him. He had to step up as his quarterback struggled there in the first half. And they just found ways to feed him, using a lot of different route concepts to force him open, and it pays off massively for Penn State, upsetting #1 Kent State. And frankly, that one was truly heartbreaking, and we knew we would have to go beat USC. Otherwise, our postseason and championship push would be in jeopardy. The run game, and that is exactly where they look to start with the big hitter, and it's going to be a Trojan touchdown. 5, they do finally snap it. Del Griffin will look to step up, utilize those receivers as blockers, scooting his way in to tie this game up. Here, a minute 30 to play in the first, and now Maddox has some space. He's by the 30, the 20, and it's going to be a one-play drive for the Flash. 3 down defensive linemen, and it's a power run for Maddox, who gets free. He's still running, and he's going to break away for his 2nd long run of this game. They do just get that snap off in time, chucking this one downfield, and it's intercepted. Short for Eagles, and it's another pick on the year for #4 for the Trojans. Looking to extend their 2-score lead, and that one hits the all-state circle of the hands. Looking to go to the air, and it's over the middle, finding Tim Barr slipping a pair of tackles. Vernon keeps him up, and there's not a Kent State player in sight. This right hash, and not a lot of juice on that one, but it drifts just inside the right upright as they drop back into coverage here. Passes over the middle and picked off. Kaminsky looking to turn this into a pick 6, though Tim Bars is going to prevent that. Not entirely to bed, but very much in your own favor. Maddox gets the pitch, turns up, and no one will lay a hand on him. Complete in a 4th and 6, field goal unit out. And the Trojans will find their 3 here. Begging for him to miss it, but he will not. As it's a quarterback keeper here, close to and into the end zone. Looking to go to the air here. Camacho's got nothing but time as he steps up, throws late for the touchdown, Richmond. Still hope. They needed to get that tackle instead. Nate Maddox looks to pop this one off. 30, 20, 10, and tries to pull up inside the 3 for the Trojans. Under pressure here, and it's going to be a sack for the freshman, Matthew Gage. Still down 2 scores. RPO is to the outside. Good blocking downfield, and the Trojans will have it. It should have never been this close, but that kneel seals it. 43-38. Kent State is going back to the Big Ten title game for a revenge matchup on Penn State. But the Flash just find ways to get it done. And for the second year in a row, we'd be fighting our way back to the Big Ten title game. No gain on the play. They flip it with a strong side to the left. Run it right back in. This time, Naylor goes in untouched. Opening drive touchdown of your Big Ten title game goes to Kent State. As the blitz is sent, picked up well, but not well enough. It's Allen Hyman. The second quarter, it's a stretch. Freese breaks the tackle, and it's a bad angle from the safety. Plays so far this drive, he'll get the chance to end it here, and he does. Gonna motion their receiver over, bringing the blitz, and Kaminsky's gonna get back there immediately. And they bring out Yee. And that one is nowhere close. Closer before half. And he will slot that one right down the middle. Penn State looking to find their first lead of this game. Locks hold up well, and Cush gets the touchdown. Rolling out to the right here. Tossing this one off the back foot. And it's going to come up short. Lukey front. They've got a 1st and goal. Freese with the carry, and he will cut inside for the touchdown. A missed field goal earlier for Yee. And he just missed another one. Defense getting set up. It's play action. Here comes the pressure. It's Kakaha. It's Yee who missed from similar distance last time. This time he slots it through. They will have to recover for a chance as they had to call that timeout. And it's going to be scooped out of the air by Penn State. Penn State will take the kneel down, and they will win the Big Ten title game. They've just had Coach Ty's number. 3 matchups between Kent State and Penn State under Coach Ty, and they have not won a single one of those matchups. And despite the fact that Indianapolis, Indiana was starting to feel a little bit like home away from home, the Nittany Lions were just becoming one of our biggest rivals of this series. But they didn't end our playoff hopes. Drops haven't been a problem for the senior, but they show up there. No problem, though. Devin Naylor takes it the next play. 1st and 10. Quick pitches back to Nate Maddox. Looks to have one man to beat. He spins back inside, and he's not going to get caught. Breaking away from the back. All the way across, they'll throw his way. One-on-one, and he goes up to bring it down. That's something they haven't quite done so far today. Turning up, but watch out. It's Allen Hyman to get another 1st down here. Well, they had their running back wide open, but Matthew Gage gets their first. Hochstein will help clean it. Now for Celestia Yee, he's gonna miss another. 2nd and 9, facing the rush. Vildor is gonna get sacked. Hochstein and Kaminsky combine as they sent extra on that 2nd down. Point after attempt here to get on the board. And Middle Tennessee's got 3. Kent State not looking to be much in a rush, and that one's picked off. Murphy drifts right back into the passing lane as he was looking for Lukey. As once again, they look to spread things out. Here comes the rush. It is Lee with the sack. Back to the air they go. He's got time for the touchdown. 1st and 10 here is going to be play action, and Hochstein's back for more. As they look to go back to the air here. Under pressure, it's Matthew Gage for more. Team here, this is a long one, but no problem. But a 3rd and 1. Kent State brings the heat, but it's caught for the touchdown. 48-0. Late pitch gets to Maddox as he tries to get on his high horse. Now he's got some space by the 40, the 30, the 20. It's Nate Maddox doing Nate Maddox things. He'll look to leak out to the right-hand side and finish this one off, taking the contact. 2-point try attempt here. A little bit of a jump early there from Upshaw. Throws out to the left, and it's caught by Eagles. 3rd and goal. And they bring the blitz, and it's going to be Kaminsky. Beautifully timed, and the gap just opened up. Anytime soon. Bill Dorr throws an interception. Speaking of Robert Bond. 116. Quick throw to the inside. Simon slipped. Duarte will find the end zone. Coach Ty will bring out the victory formation. Crowd cheering. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. As we find our way through round 1 of the college football playoffs, and we made it interesting. We knew that we could beat Middle Tennessee there, but we had to come out and prove it in a dramatic fashion to regain our confidence. And boy, did we. In the first quarter, another quick throw has got their tight end Ellington to the end zone. 3, it's a bunch look. Lofted pass and a one-on-one for Lukey, and it's going the other way. They look to go to the air, and wide open again is Ellington. Slipping the tackle, the big fella's still rumbling. Christic trying to speed back up, but it's too late. Offense stays on the field, and it's Del Griffin taken down for a loss at the 34. They do get the blitz, and Hochstein hits home. As they set up a little bit of a draw. Maddox with a good cut. Trying to fight towards that end zone, and he rolls in. Notre Dame now their inside scoring position, and they've got the touchdown. Who to either side. This time they pick up all the different pass rushers, but not for long. Kaminsky. Ball snapped at the 33. Everyone going deep, and the rush is going to get home. They sent 4 and 2 hit. Just gambling on Kent State to try to take it over the top. But they floated out to Theory, and there is no one left. They sent the house, and Kent State wins that gamble. Notre Dame goes with a dig, and it's going to get picked off. Neighbors. And Del Griffin just crosses that plane. Fighting Irish right up the seam, and they fell for it. Kaminsky gets the pick. He's looking for the pick 6, though that window closes in at the 10. Whether it suited him or not, Theory looking for his second crosses that goal line. Kent State brings the blitz, but it's incomplete. Simon punches it free. Victory formation. Sneaking by Notre Dame, who you can argue played a much better complete game. But it's all second half effort there from Kent State and Coach Ty's team to send them to the semifinals. But with us moving on now to the semifinals, we would have to take on one of the best recruiting states in the country. In the semifinals, we would face the Florida Gators. To the sideline, Naylor and scales in, and once again, Florida jumps early. That pitch is out late, but it does find Naylor. He's got space, and he will take it to the house. They look to settle for a field goal here, left hash and through. Naylor to the left as they go with a keep and flip it out instead. Maddox with the touchdown. And they go a little bit of some play action. Del Griffin scrambling around. That ball's on the turf. Looks like no one realizes it, but the 2 involved on the fumble, leaving 2nd and goal back at the 6. It's back to Bullitt. This time the blocking holds, and in fact there might have been a hold there from the receiver. A big play. Instead, they were going to get it the next play. Maddox breaks through at the 50, 40. Wave goodbye. No one's going to catch Nate Maddox. Timeouts utilized as well as they chuck this one deep. And they're going to hook up with Jurgensen and make it a one-play drive. Time the DBs came ready to play. Pass is picked off. Someone's got to check that man for some eyes in the back of his head. Two to the right, one to the left. We're a little bit of a flood concept, but it's a pass downfield, and it's caught for a Florida lead. Who's had a very inconsistent season, but he nails that one. A 56-yarder is through. The semifinals, a tied-up ball game. Brightwell returns from his own end zone. Now there's a crease. He cuts back left hard. A down player upfield opens the door, and I don't think the pack is going to catch him. 10-5 touchdown. It's a kick six for the Gators. As they run it back, and this time Del Griffin crosses. Second and 15, they get aggressive, and it's going to be a halfback screen to the outside. Looking for the block, doesn't quite get it, but two spins from Naylor. He's still on his feet, refusing to go down. It's a touchdown for Devin Naylor. Facing a blitz here, passes lofted downfield. Christic again in coverage, and he gives up again and quits on the play. He just ran to the locker room. Florida jumps early, they don't flag it. Eagles takes a massive shoulder, dropping the ball, and the Gators take over. Christic on the sideline, shoulder pads are off. Looks like his day is basically over, but there's a sack from Allen Hyman. We haven't seen much from Bullitt yet, and they're going to use a little play action off of him. Big hits, and they say he crosses the goal line. With a late flip out here, this is going to be a walk-in touchdown for Eagles. Pringle comes in here at quarterback, and he will dive forward for the go-ahead score. Passing plays with a scramble drill. That ball is thrown to the sideline. This game is over. Number 1 falls to number 5. The Golden Flashes are headed to the national championship. They got revenge off of USC knocking them out in this same game last season. But what a game these two put on. We knew it would come down to one big play being made by the defense. And frankly, that one big play was just keeping the Gators away from the end zone there at the end. Pass went out of bounds, leaving the Gators no chance. And Kent State, they'll take home the Peach Bowl, but there's a bigger trophy on the horizon. The question is, will Nate Maddox be healthy? But in that game, the boys truly proved that Kent State was no longer the team we knew from 7 years prior. The fact that they were able to keep on battling in a shootout of this caliber, keep their cool, and make the plays that they had to have to get them to this opportunity. A chance to win their second national championship really just goes to show all the work Coach Ty did. He stuck to his scheme, and he built a great, fantastic program. The job still yet to be complete. We are one game from glory. Coach Ty and the Golden Flashes have made it to the Natty. But they face off against one of the scariest teams in the country, in the Miami Hurricanes. Only one team can win today and claim that national championship trophy. Which side is going to make the bigger plays? What side will finish this year on top? And which side can avoid making some crucial mistakes? Well, we've got 4 quarters to find out as we look to get this game underway. Brings out Celessi Yee. Rush almost gets back there, but the kick is through. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. It's going to be a 4-man rush, and the pressure hits home. It's Steve Lee. The 2nd and 10. Miami trying to stand tall here. Down by the red zone. That throws over middle to Sternberger. Around the 1, and he will fall across that goal line. At the 15. 2 spread either side. They look to go to the air, but it's going to be a sack. The true freshman Gage. Should be an easy chip shot for Miami, and indeed it's down the middle. Split backfield. It's going to be some play action. Del Griffin stepping up. He's got some blockers to the left, and he doesn't need it. He will scoot in himself. Sternberger motions over. They'll flip it out his way in the corner bit in. It's a second touchdown for the freshman here in the national championship. The 2nd and 3, it's play action over the middle, and it's gonna be a touchdown, Wembley. Groove here to start the half. Throws the interception, though. Hatchett gets the pick. That one might have been intended for Gillette, might have been Wembley. They lost in the semifinals of last year's game. Pitches outside to Nate Maddox, and he's got the angle to the house. A little bit of some play action as they look to flood one side, but there is multiple defenders there in the backfield. They're back at the 19. They need about the 39, and he almost had it. Leaves 3rd and 4. Obviously 4-down territory this late in the game. They went for it last time, and they've got it this time. Wembley all the way from one sideline to the other. They've got to find a way to get back into this game. But the pressure is almost too much, but shaking through 2 and finding his target. That's a 2-point conversion. With a 4th and 5 at the 8, it's a right hash, tough angle field goal, but no problem for Celessi Yee. With a throw downfield, it's Neighbors and Wembley, but the speed difference goes for Miami. And they very much mismanaged this time as he runs out of bounds with no time left. With a wacky finish, Kent State is your national champions for the 2nd time in 3 years. And it's come with quarterback play that by no means has been top tier. Their first time they won with a backup finishing the year. This time around, they win the Natty with the redshirt freshman Del Griffin in his first year as a starter. But a big thanks comes to number 20 up on that stage, Nate Maddox, returning for his super senior season and leading us to a superb year. Frank Wembley, though, we've got to shout him out. What a performance he had. 3 touchdowns on 6 grabs, over 200 yards. This Kent State defense knew they had to change things. Their longtime starter got pulled. They had to shake things up. They went primarily zone cover, single high, shaped it around to a little bit of some 2 high. But everyone stepped up in this one, and they get to take home the trophy. But taking 2 games from the state of Florida and claiming our 2nd national championship. There's not a whole lot better that you could do here, except for one thing. Win a Big Ten title and go back-to-back national champions. That was the push of our final off season. Fill in some holes, bring in some big-time key pieces, and hopefully see some of our young stars develop, especially those like Matthew Gage, the freshman phenom, coming off a huge year and looking to lead us into that title defense and Big Ten push. But stepping in here to season 8, our final of this journey, we would not be met with a warm, welcoming hug. Starting with some play action and left wide open, beating Barno, and shaking the tackle and looking to get away is Hendricks. It's going to be a one-play score for Oregon. And under pressure, it's a back shoulder throw that's intercepted. DT, see if he could get in the face of the quarterback, but for right now, it's Pryor with some space, and he gets by Barno with another bad angle. With a lot of one-on-ones downfield, it's still caught for the touchdown. And they're playing aggressive. They've just got to keep it going, as it's a 2nd interception on the day. Kiki now playing some sub-linebacker, and it's Hendricks with the catch and the broken tackle for Marr. Has not found the end zone once today. They've sniffed it, and this one's gonna be a pick 6. Del Griffin gets juked out. To see how they could do this year, and it looks like they might be giving up another. No one jumps. You got to get the first down, but Dickerson just stepped away from the defensive end, left an open door and a message to Coach Ty that he should be benched. But that is where we are gonna get out of here today. Oregon, with that short field, tacks on another score. They make it 63-7. And a note sent to the Golden Flash. And in fact, it was after this game that we actually saw Coach Ty display some of his most apparent disappointment in the way that his team had ever played in 8 years. The good news is that press conference and perhaps some discipline around the locker room got the boys' heads right. Because frankly, after that game, they would not be denied the rest of the year, and that was with some major controversy. We saw time after time the talk about the quarterbacks, who should be the starter, who shouldn't, after Del Griffin has fallen off after his national championship season. And do you remember when I said we would surprisingly have multiple championship-winning quarterbacks on roster? Well, I think to everyone's surprise, including myself, that was the case. In Kevon Fair's first official start of the season, he would face our dreaded rival in the Penn State Lions. Take out the receiving group and the tight end, who is second on the team in receiving, and they need some pass rush. Tobin lays down Montgomery with a big shoulder hit in the backfield. And bailing back into coverage, though, it's the tight end open. A bad attempt at the tackle, and it's a foot race. Kaminsky will not get there in time. That is Levi Trapucka. And a little RPO is back to Trapucka, and it's another score for Penn State. Every different spot. Lane, though, here, he gets the outside, and he might have the whole shot. He's at the 15, 10, 5 touchdown. Penn State, the 3rd and 4. With a quick throw, and it's Shelley again with a score. Another RPO is tossed outside. Looking for the block is Saxton. Weaving back outside. He's got the speed to break away. Diving into the end zone. Trying to at least go up by 10. And that one is no good. Trailing by 7. Handoff Atwell, and he will finish it off. And it's Lane getting underneath it. Looking for someone to go, and he finds a crease and gets through. This is going to be a foot race, which he's got the angle for. 30, 20, 10, and kick 6 goes Lane. As his quarterback keeper, Montgomery's right back into the end zone. For to Atwell. Facing the blitz, and it's Matthew Gage. He had the free rush in out Montgomery. Split backfield look here. Fair. Pitches it out. It's a Devin Naylor. Good double team with the receivers, and he's got the end zone. So you're taking his time. They don't need to rush, but there is a rush. It's Matthew Gage with another sack. This would be once again for a 2-score lead, a 10-point lead, and that one is through. Dead center this time. Playing at home, you feel comfortable with this kick, and he's got it for you. Big block over the middle from 73. Looking for another from him. It's Danny Sternberger into the end zone. We've got a tie game here in Kent, Ohio. We've got overtime as both of these teams are battling for that potential final spot in the Big Ten title, right? For the young kicker. And he will push that one through, so it goes then to the Kent State defense. And they start with the blitz, and Tobin's gonna get there. Needed help from Riggins, but Montgomery losing 6, getting smacked around back there. For 2 today, and he flirts with that left upright. Looking again for that free man rush. It's Tobin back again. They're just sending one more than Penn State is leaving to block. 2 for 3. And he again flirts with the upright, but this one's good. And right back to the line. They send the blitz off the edge. It's Lane with a screen outside. It's the block from Naylor, and that's your ball game. Kent State walks it off in overtime 2. They are still in play for your Big Ten title as they rush the field. 47-44. Your former national champions looking to go back-to-back And with that win is 2 still in play. Kevon Fair gets the start, plays the whole game, and upsets the Nittany Lions. Finally, being able to take that breath of victory against a team who had put us in so many bad spots. Well, there was no going back. Kevon Fair was our quarterback until he proved he couldn't be. And frankly, that just didn't happen. But what did happen was once again seeing the Bruins in another big-time game. The biggest, number 1 versus number 2 for the Big Ten title. It was a tight race to get to this point. And there's a fumble by Chun. It's going to be scooped up Kaminsky, and he's going to get away. Touchdown, Penn State, coming from their defense. As they keep with the passing attack. Option was open, but instead 3 different rushers get back there. But it hits the turf. They bring out Folk, and he will knock this one through a drive. Bruins needing that response, but here comes Yeboah on the 6-man rush. As then set up 1st and goal, play clock inside 5. Lofted to Demetrius Willingham. It is 17-0 here in Indy. Though he does pick up a really big block here. Thrown downfield. Chun, he hooks up with his man. It's Leuenberg slipping the tackle and taking it to the house for the Bruins. Back on out here with the go-ahead straight-on shot. He will push it right down the middle. 4th and 6. There's a good rush around the end. It's Weathersby. He swats it away, and Kent State takes over at the 48. Settle up here. Field goal attempt and make him 3 for 3 on the day. Time scrambling out. It's Chun to the end zone. Pressure dealt with pretty well. That pass gets out just in time. And once again, Brent's misreading it. It's the Bruins with a 1-play score. They got to find a way to keep him out of the end zone here. Pitches back to Saxton, and Saxton will have the edge. Kent State once again claims that 2-score lead. Goal then UCLA facing the blitz, and it's Kaminsky straight through untouched. 4th and game for the Bruins. Pass is caught. Thorpe with his 2nd here of the 4th quarter. Oh, what an exciting 4th we've had here today. But a bad onside. It is recovered by Abrams. And that will be victory formation. Kent State survives. And that is the Big Ten title headed back to little old Kent, Ohio. 30-28. Number 1 just manages to hold on. A near 4th quarter collapse by the Golden Flashes. The Bruins saw hope of finding a comeback. And it all comes down to that Bruins defense throughout the course of the game, taking Jason Lane out of it entirely. And whatever was going on with the secondary late there for Kent State, they've got to sort out. Run some drills to spot the ball while it's flying through the air. I don't know if it's the NFL lights versus their small stadium lights that cause the confusion. Either way, they are going to be shining in light here today, hosting that trophy. And just as always, the Bruins did not disappoint. We had ourselves yet another big game, but that was step 1 of Season 8 accomplished. We wanted to win that Big Ten title game and look for a push at a repeat natty. And we would get that with a first-round bye. Once again, facing the Panthers in the postseason. They also have themselves a pretty stout secondary as well. The halfback screen here, big block downfield, and another one from number 65. That is your starting center. Freshman quarterbacks, and that is get pressure and get it early. Yearby with the pick. It's an overthrow by Bofelli. Forces a 2nd and 10. Back to that triple option. Now it's Jason Lane. He's got a one-on-one. Hits that backspin, and he will scoot, dragging a defender across the goal line. A very highly talked about tight end. Under pressure, though, it's going to be a sack by Matthew Gage. Funny. Two spread either side facing that blitz, and it's Kaminsky getting through. He shut off the running back and then tossed Bofelli. This year facing Oregon. A chance to redeem themselves. It's Matthew Gage. 3 straight sacks and a 3-and-out here for the Golden Flashes, who this team relies on. Volk misses the field goal, never quite getting it online. A stay of execution here for Pitt. Much going, haven't looked to really run the ball much at all, and Barno's getting the pick. It was just tossed up by Bofelli, intended for Maury. Back here at the 14, it's lofted back of the end zone, and ripping it down is Saxton. Not going to their running back, instead under massive pressure, and Christian Neighbors is gonna hit home. All game long. Quick RPO flip out, and it will be a trot-in score here for Demetrius Willingham. And they even bring a safety blitz. This one's lofted for Saxton, and he gets under it. It's a quick score, leaving plenty of time here as they look to go to the air. Lofted downfield one-on-one, and this one's going the other way. Picked off by BigBearB with a chance for redemption. And this time he absolutely booms it through. Play action. Try to take the top off the defense, but it's Ben Hardrick chasing him down from behind. Just trying to get on the board, and there goes the goose egg. They do snap the ball here just before the quarter break, and it's going to be a pick for Del Griffin. Too far out in front. I believe that one intended for DeAndre Lake. So not 4-down territory. They will tack on 3, but it's still nowhere close to enough. Penn State can come out in victory formation, and they are headed back to the semifinals. An absolutely dominant first half showing sees the Golden Flashes through this one by a large margin. The Pitt Panthers did not find the end zone today. We knew it was going to come down to defense, and Kent State's defense absolutely showed up. Pitt came into this one leading Kent State in terms of points per game, passing yards per game, barely trailed them in rushing yards per game. But that Golden Flash defense shut them down, and Kevon Fair absolutely shredded the Panther defense. Big plays left, right, and center. We saw some big things early from Jason Lane. They then let him sit a little bit. He got banged up later on in the season, so trying to keep him healthy. And that is them to the semifinals. This season and this series stays alive for at least one more game. But who is it gonna be against? And arguably our biggest win of any of our postseason appearances, Pitt showed no problem for us. But what was a problem was once again facing a team we had already faced, and once again facing them in the postseason at their house. For the defense, more of a spread look for UCLA, and they've got the opening score. It's the quick slant to Thorpe. They go back to that play action, letting this one rip downfield. It's Saxton with the touchdown. Defense stands for now, 2nd and goal. This time it's the read option, and a late, in fact, no read there from Barno. Cam Lilly can step in untouched down at the goal line. It's Kevon Fair stepping up, and it's a rushing touchdown for both quarterbacks in this one. Goal team, a sharp angle back to the left. Volk just inside that left upright, almost overcorrecting. 46 seconds on the clock and counting. Rolling, throwing. It's a misread by Brents, and Magana gives the lead to the Bruins sooner than they should have. This one flying to the end zone. Danny Sternberger with the touchdown. Play action this time with a roll out to the right side. Lofted right into the hands of the big old DT. It is Greg trying to take it back. Eli Apple saves it. Instead, Bruins set up just inside the 15. Tobin, though, not going to be fooled from Kevon Fair. And that one's right down the middle. It's 24-24 here, early doors of the second half. Bunch to answer over the left-hand side. Pass is out to the right. It's Saxton. He's turning up, and he's got his second. We're playing a little bit of some nose tackle. Passes downfield. BigBearB beat, and Magana's got another one. As Penn State back with the ball, and that ball's going backwards. It's to UCLA with the scoop and the score by Levis. Farrah's got him back to the line here. Saxton's got the release. This one's towards the back of the end zone, but he toe taps. That one's good on Sundays. Second and 12. Lee checking downfield and loading up. It's going to be picked off Yeboah. He was trailing back, expecting that deep throw, and he happens to be at the right place at the right time. Over 100 yards rushing. It's to Saxton with 3 receiving touchdowns. He goes up and it's flipped into the end zone. Count that as the 4th. Hopefully he can provide some more big plays in a one-on-one downfield, and Thorpe once again beats BigBearB. They do indeed hand this one off. It's Jason Lane with what looked to be a face mask, but it doesn't matter because he spins into the end zone. Kent State takes the lead, draining massive time off the clock. But Kevon Fair kneels this one to rest. We are headed to SoFi for the national championship. We will indeed have our final game of the series, and it comes with Coach Ty staying perfect in Pasadena. The Bruins have not managed to defeat him, though they came close in this one. But the play of Saxton, absolutely phenomenal. Kevon Fair had a great game if you erase 2 massive turnovers. The offense came ready today. The defense left a little bit to be desired. They got a little bit banged up. They're going to have to get healthy before we head down to Los Angeles. Either way, we've got one more game left. And then this series is going to be wrapped up in a really nice bow. And considering the turmoil we had this year around the quarterback position, I am absolutely ecstatic with how this team handled that. Throughout the course of the year, the quarterback up and down play, beating UCLA here in the semifinals and giving us that opportunity to go back-to-back. Not even talking about the weirdness that was the quarterback room as well this year. Now we would face Florida State in our final game. 8 seasons. 118 episodes, 2 national championships, and 1 rebuilt program. But now, it all comes down to this. Tonight isn't just another Natty. It's the final game our Golden Flashes will play. Their opponent is no joke. Florida State has one of the most explosive offenses in the league. Their QB has nearly 5,500 passing. They've got 3 receivers over 1K, and they force turnovers better than almost anyone in the country. But every great team has a weakness. Coach Ty found theirs. The question is, and we exploit it one last time. Win and send Coach Ty out exactly how we dreamed. Or lose. The story falls 1 game short. We know Florida State can put up some massive yardage, a whole lot of points. Kent State has shown the ability to do that throughout the season, a little bit inconsistent at times. But thanks to the man toting the rock here who breaks away. He's by the 50, 40, 30, 20. We've got an opening play touchdown. Jason Lane takes it 80 yards inside the 5. As they go triple option, it's Lane with nothing but space. 2 rushing touchdowns for Jason Lane, the redshirt freshman wonder. That's going to be Carruthers They've got some options over the middle, and it's going to be caught. Seminoles touchdown. Struggled, especially inside the 10. They go screen here, and Lane's got a first half hat trick. Taking their time after hustling back to the line here. Facing the blitz, and Tobin's going to pop Johnson for a 7-yard loss. He looked amped up for that one. Here, this is a sharp angle, but it's no problem for the kicker of Florida State. Claim that 2-touchdown lead, and it is inside the uprights, plus side around the 40-yard line. Here comes Tobin with the big hit, and it's picked off by Yearby. Intended for Irvin. That'll force a 3rd and goal from a shotgun look. They hand it off. It's Devin Naylor in for more. At the 7, Florida State not going away, but here's Tobin with another big pop on Johnson, his second one of the game. They've got motion. That's Irvin across. It's the keeper by Johnson as he does find the window to scoot into the end zone. They continue with the hurry up. Passes downfield, and it's a touchdown for Goodley. And it looks like they're going for a dagger here. Saxton's downfield and by the defense. They've been setting that play up all game long. A minute to spare here. They need 2 touchdowns. Johnson throws, and he's got his man again. It's Irvin with another. They get a little motion out there with the running back, but it's wide open for the 2-point hitter. Now a touchdown with the point after is for the win. We expect the onsides to come out. This is for the game. It's to the second level, and it's caught by Jason Lane of all players. With only 1 to spare, it is the final kneel down of your Kent State Dynasty. It is back-to-back national champions for little old Kent, Ohio. The Golden Flashes, through just 8 seasons, go from being the worst team in college football to running the nation. And it's at that point where we knew this dynasty had reached its highest point and final point. Coach Ty would be a 3-time national champion in 3 appearances to the game. In total, he won 101 games in just 8 seasons. He sent 19 players to the NFL, and frankly, would have even more after this season. And we'd have more trophies than rooms to display them. Coach Ty took Kent State from a team no one cared about to a team everyone was talking about. But ultimately, dynasties aren't just about winning titles and winning championships. They're great, don't get me wrong. But what it's all about is watching the process of taking a team that is at the bottom and building them up to the top, seeing the stories and the careers of all these players through to fruition. And in fact, we may even still see some of these guys remaining on roster in the future. And we may even see Coach Tyrone Roseboom at the next level, especially after he rounds out his time here in college with one of the best stretches we've ever seen. And of course, we can't go anywhere without talking about the legends of this series. And it starts from the beginning. Syed Abu Hamday. It's been a while since we've got to call his name, but we cannot forget about the impact he had on this team. Mason Kelsey joining in season 2 and breaking almost every record a quarterback possibly could here at Kent State. And he had a partner along the way too, in Tank Hawkins. Those two were undeniable and hooked up for so many big plays that it really elevated our early MAC run, getting us that chance to play in the Big 12. And when we found our way there, well, we also found ourselves a lockdown nose tackle in big old Bobby Ellington. His impact on this team, it was quiet but so big at the same time. And eventually we found him a protege as well in Matthew Gage, who stepped on the scene not quietly, but emphatically with a breakout true freshman campaign that I am so glad we started him early on. And while talking about all these great players, there are two players who never got to play together, but they did play the same position. And of course, we've got to talk about our Heisman winning running back in Nate Maddox. He was so key for this team, especially going through some of those years of the quarterback woes. He got us through with his big play threat every time he touched the ball. And then after he left, well, Jason Lane, well, he maybe didn't play much against Oregon. He played every game after in season 8. And as a redshirt freshman, he was the savior of that season. We knew we could rely on him. But as Coach Ty himself was a linebacker for us in our Stanford Cardinal dynasty, it's only fitting we save a linebacker for the end. I cannot go without mentioning Jake Kaminsky. So many big plays from him in both season 7 and season 8. Well, we didn't get to call his name as much in season 8 because he was being very much keyed upon by every opponent we faced. He still was the leader of this team. But I also want to leave some honorary mentions for some other big-time role players in this series. And in fact, you could let me know anyone that I missed out down below. But Grayson Howard definitely up there for one of our earlier big-time linebackers. Jimmy Yazzie, another running back for us. Anthony Talib, big old lineman who helped clear many different running lanes for us. Tim Snead, another one of these big-time linebackers Coach Ty had a lot of. Derek Zyman, a 4-year starter at safety. And still finishing with those linebackers and Kaminsky partner, Robert Bond. For everyone who joined us on this journey, I thank you. This channel grew a lot in college football 26 and this Kent State dynasty. If you were here from the beginning, or if you joined along the way, or if frankly you're just hearing about it now, I do still thank you. And if you want to watch more of it, there is a playlist on this channel. But we've done all we could here for little old Kent in this series, taking them from the bottom to the top, and it is time to say goodbye. Though the good news is, while we are done here with Kent State, we've got a new story to begin, and it's just about a week away. So while we say goodbye for now, we're going to be right back with you in College Football 27 as we begin not only one, but two dynasties.